Nicole is 41 years old. She has a net worth of $970,000. Her coworker Brian is 43. He has a net worth of $62,000. Nicole and Brian work at the same company. They have similar salaries. Nicole makes $89,000, Brian makes $92,000. They started around the same time. They have both received similar raises and bonuses over the years. Nicole will be a millionaire by 43. Brian will be lucky to have $200,000 by 65. The difference between them is not income, it is not intelligence, it is not luck. The difference is 5 specific habits that Nicole does automatically and Brian has never heard of. These habits are not complicated, they are not secret, but they are invisible unless someone shows them to you. Brian has been working for 20 years and nobody ever explained that wealth is not built by earning more. Wealth is built by doing 5 specific things with the money you earn and doing them consistently for decades. Nicole learned these habits at 23 from a mentor. She has been doing them for 18 years. The compounding effect of 18 years of correct habits versus 18 years of normal habits is $908,000. That is the gap. Same income, different habits. One of them is rich, one of them is broke. Brian thinks Nicole is lucky, or secretly makes more money, or inherited wealth. Nicole did not inherit anything. She is not lucky. She just does 5 things that Brian does not do. If Brian started doing these 5 things today, he would catch up significantly. He will not start because nobody will tell him what they are. I am going to tell you what they are. These are the 5 habits that separate people who build million-dollar net worths from people who work their entire lives and retire with nothing. My name is Bobby, and I spent the last 7 months analyzing the financial habits of people who reached 7-figure net worths on middle-class incomes versus people who earned the same amount and stayed broke. If you earn decent money, but your net worth is not growing, if you wonder how some people get rich on normal salaries while you stay stuck, if you are doing what you think you are supposed to do with money, but the results are not showing up, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. What I'm about to show you is not generic advice to budget better or spend less on coffee. This is about the 5 specific behaviors that wealthy people do automatically and broke people never learn, and why these 5 habits create exponential differences in net worth over time, even when incomes are identical. These habits are not hard, they are just hidden. Nobody teaches them. You either learn them early or you stay broke forever. Habit 1. Pay yourself first, not last. Brian gets paid twice per month. His paycheck hits his checking account. He pays his mortgage, his car payment, his credit cards, his utilities, his insurance, his subscriptions. Then he buys groceries, gas, goes out to eat a few times, maybe buys something he needs. At the end of the month, if there is money left over, he moves it to savings. There is almost never money left over. He has been doing this for 20 years. He has $62,000. Nicole gets paid twice per month. Before her paycheck hits her checking account, 15% is automatically deducted and sent to her Roth IRA and her 401k. She never sees that 15%. It is gone before she can spend it. The remaining 85% hits her checking account, and she uses that to pay her bills and live her life. She has been doing this since she was 23. She has $970,000. The difference is the order of operations. Brian pays everyone else first and saves whatever is left. There is never anything left. Nicole pays herself first and lives on whatever is left. She has been living on 85% of her income for 18 years. Brian has been living on 100% of his income and saving 0. Nicole's 15% per year on an average salary of $70,000 over 18 years is $189,000 in contributions. That money compounded at 8% annually is now worth $412,000. Brian contributed maybe $20,000 total over 18 years because he only saved in years when he got a bonus or had a good month. His $20,000 compounded to $62,000. The gap is $350,000, and it exists purely because Nicole automated paying herself first, and Brian tried to save whatever was left. Paying yourself first is not about willpower. It is about removing the decision. If the money never hits your checking account, you cannot spend it. You adapt your lifestyle to 85% of your income, and you never notice the 15% missing. Brian kept the full 100% available to spend, and he spent it all every month. He never adapted. He never built wealth. Paying yourself first is the foundational habit. Without this, none of the other habits matter because there is no money to deploy. Habit 2. Increase savings rate with every raise, not lifestyle. Brian started at his company making $52,000. Over 20 years he got raises and is now making $92,000. That's $40,000 in income growth. His lifestyle grew with his income. When he made $52,000, he lived in a one-bedroom apartment and drove a 10-year-old sedan. When he got promoted and started making $70,000, he moved to a 2-bedroom and bought a newer car. When he hit $92,000, he bought a house and leased an SUV. His lifestyle today costs $90,000 per year. His lifestyle at $52,000 cost $50,000 per year. His spending grew by $40,000. His income grew by $40,000. He absorbed the entire raise into lifestyle. His savings rate stayed at 0. Nicole started at $15,000. She is now making $89,000. That's $39,000 in income growth. When she made $50,000, she lived in a one-bedroom apartment and drove a used car and saved 15%, $7,500 per year. When she got raises, her lifestyle stayed frozen. She still lives in a 2-bedroom apartment that costs the same as her 1-bedroom did in a cheaper city when she moved for work. She still drives a paid-off car. Her lifestyle costs $55,000 per year. It has cost $55,000 for the last 10 years, despite her income growing from $60,000 to $89,000. Every dollar of her raises went to increasing her savings rate. She is now saving $34,000 per year. That's 38% of her gross income. She started at 15%. She is now at 38%. Her lifestyle is comfortable. She is not deprived. She just did not inflate her spending when her income increased. Brian inflated his spending with every raise. He is making $92,000 and saving nothing. Nicole is making $89,000 and saving $34,000. The difference in annual savings is $34,000. Over 10 years, that's $340,000 in contributions. Compounded, that's $470,000. Brian spent his raises on a bigger house and a nicer car. Nicole invested her raises. Brian's house and car are depreciating liabilities. Nicole's investments are compounding assets. 10 years from now, Brian will still be making payments on a house and a car. Nicole will have $1.4 million invested and could quit her job if she wanted. The habit is simple. When you get a raise, do not increase your lifestyle. Increase your savings rate. Live on the amount you lived on before the raise. Invest the difference. If you do this with every raise for 20 years, you end up rich. If you spend the raises, you end up broke at a higher income level. Habit 3. Avoid debt on depreciating assets. Use debt only for appreciating assets. Brian has $318,000 in debt. Mortgage, $260,000. Car loan, $38,000. Credit cards, $14,000. Student loans, $6,000. His debt is spread across things that lose value or things he already consumed. His car is worth $29,000. He owes $38,000. He is $9,000 underwater on a depreciating asset. His credit card debt funded vacations, furniture, and expenses from years ago that provided no lasting value. He is paying 18% interest on consumption that is gone. His mortgage is the only debt on an appreciating asset, but the house appreciated slower than his investment portfolio would have if he had rented and invested the down payment and the difference between his mortgage payment and rent. Nicole has $172,000 in debt. All of it is her mortgage. No car payment, no credit card debt, no student loans. She paid those off in 3 years by living cheap after college. Her car is paid off. She bought it used for $12,000 8 years ago and drove it into the ground. It is worth $4,000 now. She does not care. It runs. She will drive it until it dies, and then she will buy another used car for cash. She has never financed a car. She has never carried a credit card balance. The only debt she has ever taken is a mortgage on her primary residence, and she bought a house she could afford on one income, even though she is single. Her mortgage payment is $1,600 per month. Brian's mortgage payment is $2,300 per month. The difference, $700 per month, is $8,400 per year. Nicole invests that difference. Over 10 years, that's $141,000, including returns. Brian spent it on a bigger house. The rule is simple. Never borrow money for anything that loses value. Cars lose value. Vacations lose value. Furniture loses value. Clothes lose value. If it depreciates, pay cash or do not buy it. The only acceptable debt is a mortgage on a home that will appreciate or a business loan that will generate revenue. Everything else is financial suicide. Brian has been paying interest on depreciating assets for 20 years. That interest, 18% on credit cards, 7% on car loans, has cost him over $100,000 in payments that generated zero wealth. Nicole avoided that entire category of expense. She has never paid $1 of car loan interest or credit card interest. That money went to investments instead. Debt on depreciating assets is the fastest way to stay broke while feeling like you are living well. You are not living well. You are renting a lifestyle with money you do not have and paying interest for the privilege. Habit 4. Invest windfalls and bonuses. Do not spend them. Brian gets a bonus every year. The bonus averages $8,000. He has received bonuses for 15 years. That's $120,000 in bonuses. He has $0 to show for it. Every bonus he ever received was spent within 3 months. 1 year he used it for a vacation. Another year he bought a new TV and furniture. Another year he paid down credit card debt that he then ran back up. Another year, he used it as a down payment on a car lease. The bonuses are gone. They generated no lasting value. They did not build wealth. They funded temporary consumption. Nicole gets a bonus every year. Her bonus averages $7,000. She has received bonuses for 15 years. That's $105,000 in bonuses. Every single bonus went directly into her brokerage account and was invested in index funds. She did not see the money. She did not spend it. The $105,000 in contributions, compounded over 15 years at 8%, is now worth $296,000. Nicole's bonuses are worth $296,000. Brian's bonuses are worth $0. Same bonuses, different habit. Nicole treats bonuses as investment capital. Brian treats bonuses as permission to spend. This habit extends to every financial windfall: tax refunds, gifts, inheritance, unexpected checks, selling something. If money appears that you were not expecting, you have 2 choices: spend it and it disappears forever, invest it and it compounds forever. Brian spends windfalls. Nicole invests them. The cumulative difference over 20 years is probably close to $400,000. That's real money. That's retirement. That's financial independence. Brian spent it on things he doesn't remember. Nicole built wealth. Habit 5. Obsessively minimize fees on investments. Brian has his 401k in a target date fund that charges 0.68% annually. He has $62,000 in the account. He is paying $421 per year in fees. He has been paying fees like this for 20 years. The cumulative fees he has paid are over $18,000. That does not include the compound growth he lost on the $18,000 he paid in fees. If he had invested that $18,000 instead of paying it in fees, it would be worth $38,000 today. He lost $38,000 to fees. Nicole has her 401k in a total stock market index fund that charges 0.03% annually. She has $412,000 in her 401k. She is paying $124 per year in fees. Over 18 years, she has paid about $1,700 in total fees. If Brian had Nicole's fee structure, he would have saved $16,300 in fees, which compounded would be worth $34,000 more than he has now. The fee difference is 0.65% per year. That sounds like nothing. Over 20 years on a growing balance, it's the difference between being comfortable and being rich. Nicole obsesses over fees. She checks expense ratios on every fund. She will not invest in anything that charges over 0.1% unless there is a very specific reason. She rebalances once per year to the lowest cost funds available in her 401k. She rolled over old 401ks into an IRA at Vanguard to get access to cheaper funds. She thinks about fees the way most people think about sales. If you would drive across town to save $20 on groceries, you should absolutely move your retirement account to save $2,000 per year in fees. Brian has never looked at his expense ratios. He doesn't know what his funds charge. He picked the target date fund because it was the default option, and he has never changed it. He is paying 0.68% and he doesn't know it, and he will pay it every year for the rest of his life. The habit is to treat fees like they are stealing from you, because they are. A 1% fee doesn't sound like theft. It is theft. 1% per year on $1 million portfolio is $10,000 per year. That's $10,000 you earned through your contributions and market returns, and the fund company is taking it every year, forever. You would never accept a friend stealing $10,000 from you annually. You accept fund companies doing it because the fee is invisible. Make it visible. Check your expense ratios. Move your money to the lowest cost index funds available. The difference between 0.03% and 0.68% is the difference between retiring rich and retiring comfortable. Nicole will retire with $3.2 million. If she had Brian's fee structure, she would retire with $2.6 million. The fees would cost her $600,000 over her lifetime. She will not pay those fees. Brian will.
These 5 habits are not secrets. They are not complicated. You do not need to be smart to do them. You need to know they exist, and you need to do them consistently. Brian did not know they existed. Nobody told him. He worked for 20 years doing what he thought he was supposed to do. He paid his bills, he saved when he could, he invested in his 401k, he got raises. He is 43 with $62,000 and no path to retirement. Nicole learned these 5 habits at 23. She has done them for 18 years. She is 41 with $970,000, and she will retire at 55. The difference is not talent. The difference is habits. Habit 1. Pay yourself first by automating contributions before you see the money. Habit 2. Increase your savings rate with every raise instead of your lifestyle. Habit 3. Avoid all debt except mortgages on appreciating assets. Habit 4. Invest every bonus and windfall instead of spending it. Habit 5. Obsessively minimize fees on all investments. If you do these 5 things starting today and you do them for 20 years, you will be a millionaire. If you do what Brian did, pay yourself last, spend your raises, finance depreciating assets, spend your bonuses, and ignore fees, you will work for 40 years and retire broke. The habits determine the outcome. Brian is living proof that earning good money is not enough. Nicole is living proof that the right habits on a normal income create wealth. Here is what you do if you are Brian, or if you recognize that you have been working for years and your net worth is not where it should be. First, automate paying yourself first, starting with your next paycheck. Log into your 401k and increase your contribution percentage to at least 15%. If your company does not have a 401k, open a Roth IRA and set up automatic monthly transfers of at least 10% of your gross income. The money needs to leave before you can spend it. This is not optional. This is the foundation. Second, commit right now that your next raise goes entirely to increasing your savings rate. When you get the raise, increase your 401k contribution by the amount of the raise. If you are contributing 15% and you get a $5,000 raise, increase your contribution by $5,000 annually. Your lifestyle stays the same. Your savings rate increases. Do this with every raise for the rest of your career. Third, make a list of every debt you have on depreciating assets, car loans, credit card balances, personal loans for consumption. Calculate how much interest you are paying annually on that debt. That number is the amount of wealth you are destroying every year. Pay off the highest interest debt first. Stop financing things that lose value. Fourth, decide right now that the next bonus or windfall you receive goes directly to investments. Do not think about it. Do not plan what you will buy. The moment the money hits your account, move it to your brokerage account and invest it. Remove the decision. Make it automatic. Fifth, log into your 401k or IRA right now and check the expense ratio on every fund you own. If anything is above 0.2%, move it to the lowest cost index fund available in your plan. If your plan does not offer low-cost index funds, contribute enough to get the employer match and then put everything else in a Roth IRA at Vanguard or Fidelity, where you have access to funds that charge 0.03%. Brian is 43. If he starts these 5 habits today and maintains them until 65, he will retire with $1.1 million. He will go from $62,000 today to $1.1 million in 22 years. That requires him to save 30% of his income starting now. That is brutal. That is a massive lifestyle cut. But it is possible. If he does not start, he will retire with $300,000 and he will work until 75. Nicole started at 23. She will retire at 55 with $3.2 million. She did not work harder than Brian. She did not earn more than Brian. She did 5 things that Brian did not do. The 5 things are not hard. They are just non-obvious unless someone shows you. Most people go their entire lives without anyone showing them. They work for 40 years, they earn good money, they retire broke. They do not understand why. The reason is habits. Wealth is not built by earning more. Wealth is built by doing the right things with what you earn. Nicole did the right things. Brian did the normal things. Normal is broke. Right is rich. You can keep doing what Brian did and wonder why your net worth is not growing despite good income. Or you can start doing what Nicole does and build a 7-figure net worth over a middle-class salary in the next 20 years. These 5 habits are the difference. Pay yourself first. Increase savings with raises. Avoid debt on depreciating assets. Invest windfalls. Minimize fees. Do these 5 things consistently and you will be wealthy. Ignore them and you will be broke forever, regardless of how much you earn. I have been obsessing over this so you see exactly what separates people who get rich from people who stay broke on the same income. If this makes you want to check your expense ratios and automate your contributions, hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.